Well, when Inyo's supervisors meet Tuesday, they will hear a request from County Administrator Kevin Caruncio to extend the contract of Alan Colton, who consults on the county office complex project. Now, the request would add $10,000 to the total amount, not to exceed $70,000. Bennett Kessler filed this story. The board will also consider approval for payments of the county's portion of arbitration costs for the Black Rock 94 dispute resolution with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, not to exceed $45,000. About $12,000 has been paid and $9,000 is due. Now, the Inyo County Board of Supervisors will likely appoint 2 people to serve on the Water Commission. The candidates for this appointment are Craig Patton, Sally Manning, Daniel Pritchett, Charles Stewart, and James Stroh. The seats up for appointment have been held by Sally Simons and Mike Carrington. Now, if the supervisors do not break the habit of past years, they will appoint someone who will not shake up the status quo on Department of Water and Power matters. Meanwhile, in Bridgeport, Mono County Board of Supervisors will consider approval of a contract for David Anderson's promotion to Assistant District Attorney. His total annual compensation would be $180,073. Now, Anderson has been working as a top-level Deputy District Attorney. And the Mono Board will consider sending a letter requesting that the California Highway Patrol offices remain in Bridgeport. The Bridgeport Regional Planning Advisory Committee passed a resolution requesting that the CHP retain its office in Bridgeport. State's search parameters for a new office have included other areas and not Bridgeport. Mono Board will discuss the county's 2014 legislative platform. Now, the draft document includes guidelines for state priorities which recommend protection of county revenue sources, support of regulation relief in CEQA reform, sustainable funding for state parks, forest fire protection, protection for local agriculture, efforts to combat illegal trespassing from marijuana cultivation, early Tioga Pass opening, and several other priorities. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed 2 stories from the Mammoth Town Council. Happy that he reduced the town manager's salary and reorganized government management, the Mammoth Town Council unanimously approved interim town manager Dan Holler's recommendations for restructuring town management positions and the organization as a whole. Now, Holler studied town government for 45 days and came to the council with his recommendations to keep a single-person human resources office with potential for expansion in the future, to hire directors of public works and finance, to add support personnel in various offices, and to budget the town manager's pay at a reduced $158,000 plus benefits. Holler also suggested the town not hire an expensive community and economic development director in favor of technical staff support. All told, Holler recommended reallocation of $420,000 of budgeted funds for new positions at no additional cost. Now, after years of financial and personnel trouble, the council members were all pleased. Also, after interviews of four consulting firms that would help recruit a new permanent town manager, the Mammoth Town Council remained mostly convinced of their original views on the subject. In the end, they decided to put off any decision until January 15th. Mammoth Mayor Rick Wood said he went into the subject with the idea that the council could handle selection themselves. Now, he said he is, quote, thoroughly convinced we shouldn't do this ourselves, end quote. Now, Wood recognized that 3 members of the council want a delay. He said he would honor that, but felt that the town council should not wait very long since the town council election lies ahead. They all agreed to delay the matter until the meeting of December 15th. Please, we urge you to see more on both of these stories on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, one of the great fundraisers of the year for a very worthy cause takes place this Saturday. It's the Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra Island Extravaganza. Hey, it's going to be a Mardi Gras this year, taking place this Saturday, December 14th at Canyon Lodge. The fun Gator Nation will be performing. Whole evening starts at 6 p.m. Tickets just $70, includes dinner and raffle tickets. And boy, they have fun at the Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra Sierra fundraiser, the Island Extravaganza. And again, they're going Mardi Gras this year. You can purchase tickets online at the Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra office, Second Chance Thrift Shop, and the Bookie Joint. They're going to have dinner, dancing, a silent auction. Going to be a great time at the Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra Island Extravaganza, the fundraiser, coming up this Saturday. If you would like to get some more information and tickets, please contact 760-934-0791. Well, Rob Gill filed a story, and he was on scene as the Mammoth Lakes Friends of the Library held the dedication ceremony for the Path to Literacy reading area and donor benches. Gill writes that a larger than anticipated crowd gathered in the blustery wind outside of the Mammoth branch to see the benches, and after the ceremony, a small reception was held inside the library itself. Rob Gill talked with Joe Bacon and artist Brian Jones.
It took more time to come up with the money than to do the project. About 2.5 years ago, the town was able to get some federal and state grants that paid for the construction of the basic path, which runs from behind the library and all the way down past the student apartments to hook up with the main path. Our donors were able to be the local match that was required for both of those grants, so we were able to work it as a very cooperative project. Well, it didn't actually start as a bench project. It started as the Path to Literacy, as a fundraising effort to put a connection between the library and the college. After several years of fundraising and with federal and state grants, we were able to have the basic path paid for from other funds, and the donor money then could be used for these beautiful benches. They've been created by some local artists, Brian Jones, Todd Unangst, and Jack Dunford, and we were able to recognize all our donors and create a reading area that can also be used in the summertime as an outdoor activity area for the programs we do for kids to promote literacy.
You know, I was in hospice 6 months ago, or 7 months ago now, and you know, they were telling me I wasn't going to make it, and they were saying, I kept on saying, well, what about the benches? And they were saying they're going to get done, and in my head I was thinking, well, they're going to get done, but they're not going to be my benches. And you know, what they wanted were, you know, my benches. So yeah, I think it really helped me to get through this, because, you know, I had something that had to be done as far as I was concerned. You know, I told them I would do them, and I did them. I went ahead and you know, did everything that I could to make that happen, and it was like therapy for me. You know, every time I'd get out of the house and get down to my shop, no matter how I felt, I would feel better. You know, after working down there, whether it was an hour or, you know, 2 hours. Yeah, I could only work for, you know, a couple hours at a time on them. But you know, I could do that on a pretty regular basis. So yeah, it did help my health and my attitude, and you know, just knowing that something needed to be done, I had a goal and I was able to obtain it.
Well, we thank Rob Gill for that. Congratulate everybody involved. We'll be back with more news.